Eric, you are calling from the 661. Where is that?
That's Valencia.
Valencia. Okay. So I've done like 3 startups. Mike's done 5 and at least. You got 8 startups basically at the table. We've come up with a lot of ideas. We've probably invested in some ideas between us. So this should be pretty good, I'm thinking. You know the rules. You have 60 seconds. And I'm going to ask everybody in the chat room to give 2 ratings. One is how good was the pitch? So you just put pitch and then a number 1 to 10. And then how good is the idea? And then under the idea, 1 to 10 as well. I'll ask you guys to do that in the room as well, Michael and Tyler. And so are you ready?
I'm all set.
3, 2, go.
Great. Today there are 6.5 million timeshares owned at 5,000 resorts around the world. Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, Starwood. For instance, we own a week in Kauai, Hawaii, and we go on vacation every year because we own that week. Now, some years we opt to trade that week with another owner at another resort in another location. That's called the timeshare exchange. And millions of these happen every year. 95% of them through 2 companies, billion-dollar companies. And they make their money on annual membership fees and trading fees. We've created a social network that created a platform for exchanges to happen all over the world for free. We've created a purpose-driven social network, not replacing Facebook, but integrating into it in order to solve the problem. The outcome is we save owners hundreds every year on their vacations, and we get more people on more vacations, and we think that's incredibly important. Thank you.
Okay. You did that in, I think, under 45 seconds. I'm going to take a look in the chat room and see what they thought of your pitch. I'm going to ask Michael what you thought of the pitch. How well did he explain his idea? And it's supposed to be an elevator pitch, so take that into account. And then what do you think of the idea? A social network for timeshare people.
I feel like I lost the last 15 seconds where he says how he makes money.
Right.
Because I thought it was a fantastic pitch. He had me going like, hey, here's the problem. There's 2 entrenched guys. I love going after the entrenched guys.
Yes, that's sort of your thing.
Yeah, I want to kick the guys that are there, and I want to pull a chair up to the table and say, there's a new guy in town. And so I like the pitch, but I think that you could have used that last 15 seconds to tell me, how do you make money and how much do they charge, right? So like I want to know how you're going to undercut them.
So overall you give the pitch 1 to 10?
I would say it's a 7, and if you would include it how he made money, it could be a 10.
Right. Okay, and then the idea, social network around timesharing?
I hate the social network part. I like the idea. You know, so I mean, social networks are a huge fad. Blah blah. Facebook. I just think you add all this baggage. Who really gives a shit about the? Oh, can I say that? We're on the internet.
You can. Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
Who cares about the social network part? The point is hooking up these exchange partners.
Right.
You don't want to compete with Facebook. They'll kill you on the social networking side. So be a Facebook plugin.
Right.
You know, and leverage that community for your core value, which is the exchange.
And I see the people in the room not disagreeing. A lot of people 7, 8. 8.5, 10, 7, 8, 8, 8, 10, 7 on the pitch. And then on the idea side, I see 6, 8, 10, 5, 6, 9, 7, 6, 4, 7, 5, 9, 10, 9. So all of the numbers are above 5 in general. And I'm going to agree how you make money.
What's the economic disparity?
Yeah.
What do the guys today charge and what do you charge? Tell me that. That could give me a 9 in the book.
Exactly. So why don't you answer that question first? How much does it cost to go through, I'm guessing like RCI is the big one out there. And just so you know, the way I figured that out as a angel investor for the last year, this is one of the things I've been working on is angel investing. I just typed in timeshare reselling and clicked on the first link on Google. So I've done my market research. So how much does RCI charge and how much do you charge?
They charge $100 every year, whether you trade or not, to be part of the club. Then they charge anywhere between $140 and $180 when you make the transaction happen.
Oh yeah, there's huge margin for you to grab there.
Yeah,
right.
And you have a paywall. Basically, to even start participating, you got to drop down a Benjamin, which is crazy. I mean, for this day and age. So I'm assuming yours is free to join because I just joined.
Right.
Right. Oh, you did?
I just did. I have it on the site here. The site is actually built. Timeshare Juice, and it has a Facebook Connect, and I connected with Facebook, and my name is Jason on the site, and Yeah, the workflow is great for signing in, and here's the dashboard, and I can complete my profile and earn 100 points, and you've got all that great sort of standard, fill out your profile stuff that you would expect. So how are you going to charge?
Well, there's two ways to monetize. The first is to understand the market, and that the branded timeshares command a higher sales price than non-branded. So the Marriott resort is going to get a higher price than Joe's resort. And we understand that, so we're going to allow these major resorts to have brand development on our beautiful community. And because of that, they're going to want to advertise in a nice way to develop that brand in order to get timeshare owners attracted to buying more timeshares. See, timeshare owners actually are statistically more apt to buy another unit than a non-owner. The second way is I'm sorry, do you have a
just
question?
on the first one, I'm guessing what you just said, which you said in a really long way, is the people the timeshare owners like Marriott's are going to pay to market themselves on the site. Is that what you meant? They're going to advertise on the site,
Yes.
pay a sponsorship fee?
Right.
Okay, say it that way
Yeah.
next time, because you took about 3 minutes to say basically premium listings or sponsorship fees.
And what's the second way?
And the second way?
The second way is when you book your week, that's the center of the universe. After that, you book your airfare, your day trips, your hotel, your car. So we can go ahead and help them book everything else from there forward and take a piece of the action.
Got it.
I like the second one, hate the first one, but what jumps to my mind is that if you got guys charging $100 a year just to play, right? And you know that as soon as you do that, 98% of the people ain't paying the $100.
Right.
So you're not touching 98% of the market, and then they charge $150 every time there's a transaction. Why wouldn't you just come in at $49
Yeah.
and still have an incredible price disparity?
Yeah.
Free entry, right?
Yeah.
Free entry, but $49, so you're still getting a piece of the action, way undercutting the entrenched guys. And then layer on that, hey, you booked the timeshare, now buy your air tickets or the taxi cab or whatever. That's what jumps out at me.
Yeah, I'm going to agree there. I think simple pricing is always better, and open is always better than closed. I don't know, the premium listings, maybe people will buy those, who knows.
You've got to get huge traffic to get that.
You got to get
huge
some
traffic.
sort of amount of scale, and so that's questionable, if you will. I'm looking at right now, though, I have to say a couple of things I'll give you a thumbs up on. One, I like the name, Timeshare Juice. It's fun, and it's like easy to remember, and it's got timeshare in it, so it's going to SEO well, and it's got juice, which is sort of a cool word. I like the design too. Not usually a fan of like lime green, but I am for the site, and it's clean, and it's Web 2y, and I actually did the sign-up process through Facebook during the 45 seconds when you were pitching, or actually maybe the 15 seconds at the end. What is the state of this company? You funded it yourself. How much has been invested in it, and how long has it been out?
We launched it last month, January, and I funded it myself out of pocket.
And you're a programmer? You have you're just a fan of timeshares?
Yeah, I own a timeshare, and I love timeshares, and I hired a programmer to whip this up. Okay,
so you are a passionate user of timeshares. You're not like somebody selling timeshares or something like that. That's an interesting thing from an angel perspective, or even from a venture capitalist perspective. They love when somebody fixes a problem in the market because it was a pain point for them as a customer. And I think that was mp3.com. That was sort of your thing. You wanted to have an easier way, if I remember the heritage correctly.
Yeah.
You want an easy way to just move your music around.
Right.
Well,
let me ask one question. How are you going to get customers? How do you get the buyers, the sellers there? What are your ideas?
Well, initially we've been doing some testing on Google AdWords and some other sites, and the traffic has been actually pretty good considering we haven't really done much. At this point, I'm really still testing out can this platform support trading as we scale up. So I don't have the silver bullet on how we attract 1 million people in the next 6 months. I don't know that yet.
Okay, well, let me give you my 2 seconds on that.
Okay.
And this is the counsel I give every entrepreneur. We all approach this like, here's a problem, I'm going to solve it. And we put all of our brain on solving this, and you really identified a problem, and you've come up with a solution, and I think that's all great. There's a whole nother facet, and that is, how are you going to do cost-effective marketing? And I challenge entrepreneurs to be as innovative and creative on that problem as you are on your core problem. Because there are countless businesses that aren't that good products, but they have great marketing and they win.
Yeah.
And the inverse is that you've got products that have a great product, but nobody knows about them. They die in isolation. So what I would challenge you to do is, hang up this phone and then say, how can I cost effectively get customers? Now, two things. I'm not a big fan of just buy Google AdWords. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. They can be quite expensive. They could work for you if you had that $49, I'm going to charge customers $49, because now you know what you're working against, right? You can see how many keywords you have to buy to get a customer, and you've got this $50 a bogey to play against, which is why I think you should do that. But think beyond keywords. What clever way is there for you to touch timeshare users cost effectively? Because that's the deal. If you told me, Michael, I've got this secret way where I can spend $42,000 and I can touch 1 million timeshare guys, your business would be a grand slam. It would. But that's a hard thing to do. To touch customers cost effectively takes, really innovative thinking. You've got to do stuff that no one has done before. And if you do that, and you could tell every timeshare owner in the world, hey, go to Timeshare Juice, you would win.
Okay, can I jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to tell the audience that what Michael's talking about in general, people say, is the distribution problem. How do you get distribution for your product? And this is the thing that VCs and angel investors ask me all the time when I'm raising money. I'm sure you get it all the time. What is your distribution strategy? Is that another way to say this same thing? I've got a bunch of ideas, but let's hear from you, Eric.
Okay. So the situation right now is timeshare overall has been growing at over 15% a year for over 10 years. So it's been it's been an explosion, except for this year. Now ownership is down, timeshare is down, and resorts are feeling the pinch. So my approach is we're going to call every resort club and say, look, here's what's happening. People are looking at their resorts. It's too expensive. They want to sell their units. People aren't traveling. Here's a new exchange club. It'll take $250 a year off their ownership costs. Here's a new club for you to promote into your ownership base, and it's going to get more people traveling to your resort every single year.
Do those timeshares, do they have a relationship with the two leaders right now?
Yeah. When I bought mine, right away they gave me 2 membership cards, RCI and Interval.
Right.
And I didn't even understand what exchange was.
Why would they do a third, right? They already have an economic relationship with 2 guys who are quite frankly overcharging their customers and for undoubtedly using some of that money to pay a kickback to those timeshare managers. So that's going to be an obstacle for you. But I don't see what you're offering them, why they would entertain a third guy.
Yeah. Are they going to entertain you and include you without some big upfront payment or promise of kickback? Or are you the outsider that comes in and tries to, sort of be the grassroots one? What's your strategy there?
Well, resorts don't make money from the exchange clubs. If they do, it's small dollars. The way they make money now is to get me and my family into a unit, buying dinners and day trips and whatnot. Because I already bought the unit. It's already done. It's already in the past dollars. So if they don't get me to come this year, they don't have any revenue. So how do they get people...
So is the problem that they are not getting people who've actually bought them to actually come in this kind of economy?
Yeah, people are traveling. Yeah, they're traveling less.
So people own them and then don't go.
Right.
They give up their week.
Because, yeah, it's called spoilage, and it's a big deal.
Interesting. So this would incentivize people to use the things. Interesting. Couple of ideas for you on the marketing distribution front. You have Facebook login. Twitter login is also great. Google login is also great, and teaching people how to market their timeshare. So there are countless companies that help you format your eBay listing. If you could say, here's my listing, I'm at the Marriott in Kauai, and then I press a button and it makes my eBay, and it makes my Craigslist, and it makes my Facebook widget, and my blog widget, and my Twitter post, and it says, here's the link, and here's the pictures of the Marriott Kauai, and here's what they offer, and here's the website. Be their marketing back end to help them go market their timeshare that they're trying to sell. or trade.
Like that. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, yeah. If you go onto an eBay auction for cars, for example, they're all templated. You know, and you can if you become the template, they'll be like, oh well, Timeshare Juice let you, at the very least, let you make the template for free.
So what Jason's talking about, and I challenge you to think about is your marketing going to be top down or bottoms up? Now the first reaction is top down, right? If I have a new piece of clothing and I go, well, who sells the most clothing in the world? Walmart. I'm going to call up Walmart and get them to sell it. And that's just really hard to do because everyone rushes to the same conclusion. And for your exact problem, this is, do you market with these timeshare companies, or do you do bottoms up, which is the actual owners? And that kind of lends itself well to the internet because you can touch millions of people out there with the right online service like Jason is doing. And it may be a hybrid type of approach that you have, but I'm always a fan of the bottoms up, grassroots marketing approach.
Great job, Eric, and thank you for your persistence in trying to get on the show. I know I saw some emails going by, and you did a great job and you crushed it.
Fantastic.
Highly recommend that you apply to one of the Open Angel forums at some point, because this is a good idea, and the fact that you did it separates you from 99.9% of the people asking for angel funding, which is you actually built a product that's in the market. And I had somebody email me today who's a sort of a friend from the past, and they said, hey, I know you're doing angel investing, I got this great idea. And I say, great, show it to me. And they're like, well, I have a business plan. I'm like, you know what, I only invest in things when the product's built, and I know the people involved or whatever. So, or hopefully I know the people involved. You've really done a good job. Really nice job on the program as well. Good pitch. But actually, you really got a nice response in the chat room there. So good job on that.
Oh, thank you. That's
great.
I really appreciate the feedback. That was dynamite. Worth $10,000 right there.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon.